It'll save me an hour later. So here we go. Yay. Okay. If I don't do that, I can't line up the video.
Oh, we know that all too well. The things we're all learning this last year, all of us actors. I'm like,
we've time stamped a lot of videos.
Yes.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, because if you forget to do it, I mean, the editing takes an extra 2 hours to figure out where you line up, you know.
It is not easy to line up just mouths moving, especially. If you have gestures, you can guess where you are.
Yeah.
It's definitely difficult.
I know. My hat. Okay, so I have to wear a hat also, because otherwise I'm a racerhead.
I like
Look at that.
Because I have a skylight here.
It's your own personal spotlight.
Yeah. That color looks great.
Well, and it's the COVID hair still. I got to go get a haircut, man.
He got a haircut for the first time for the gig we just wrapped, and it's already grown out. He is a human Q-tip.
So yeah. See, that's how mine used to be when I was your age.
I'm excited for mine to get all the silver foxes.
Yes.
Which Diana almost remembers, maybe.
I do. I can't believe it's been that long ago. We won't even say how many years that was. But yeah, time has flown. Crazy.
Yeah. How do you get this straight? Yeah. So what was the gig that you just wrapped?
We just wrapped the virtual revival of First Date, the musical. We were actually we were set to take that out on tour. Actually, we would have been out on the road right about now, probably wrapping up the tour, doing just like a 6-month kind of jaunt.
Yeah.
And COVID, of course, put a gnarly twist in everyone's plans. And so we kind of thought the show, along with many other projects, was kind of at the end of its road and didn't expect to do much. And over last fall, I got asked to do a small digital production of Disenchanted. And we had a lot of fun, lots of learning to try and put together a show with everyone in their own homes, with the company, sending us lights, sending us costumes, showing us how to set up the green screens and all this jazz. I ended up doing a second production with them of Brooklyn, a virtual production of that. And then the director was like, oh my gosh, what about First Date? You and your husband are actually in the same space. We could make the show work because we have 2 actors
who can
in the same
touch
space
and kiss each other.
Yeah.
2/3 of our house became a green screen, and we had iPhones and lights and props and food and hair and sound
makeup and everything. We had to do all of it. So every time we did a take, we had to turn on 3 cameras, turn on 2 audio devices, slate all of them, and then email them when we're done with that.
Hit a little earbud so we could play the track through our little earpieces that was on the computer.
And we'd be on a live Zoom with 3 other actors that are at home on their green screen, and we made our whole house green. So it was pretty intense.
Yeah.
And so they gave you they sent you all this stuff, and then they gave you the instructions.
Yes.
And they actually walked us through it. So they got on with us, and they would set up the lights with us, and then they would say, okay, now shoot this scene and send it to us.
Yeah, shoot a test.
They would try to put it into the digital world they were creating. And if they had any light flares or anything they couldn't cue out, they would come back and they'd say, okay, let's try to move this light a little bit more on the ceiling and have more of a flare. Like they taught us stuff we didn't even know.
And just going from the production I was able to do with a few gals back in the fall of Disenchanted up into what we just did, it was like night and day. We just seeing how much we artists, we figure it out. We're gonna, no matter what, right?
Right.
So just watching that team come together and just, really make it super efficient and super cool to see how much they were able to grow with technology and just with the capabilities they were able to create from Disenchanted up to First Date. Even so, for instance, this show, we got a storyboard artist, which was so cool. So it's kind of this hybrid of film and theater. It's really neat.
We actually had shots drawn out like a comic book. So we got to match the angles of the shots. We got to actually figure out what the tone is. The one thing that was really different for me as an actor is when you're doing a scene, you just want to make sure it's believable. You're like, well, did I believe it? Was I in it? This was totally different. This was like, okay, so beyond that, was the beer level right? Okay, was my hair going the same way as yesterday? Were the lights the exact same? Like it just
the
took
continuity
it to another level.
Yeah, and then everything everything's opposite too, right? It's like you go that.
Yes.
Oh, I was just doing that right now in my hat. I can't get it straight because I kept pulling it the wrong direction.
Until he starts
Yeah.
Is somebody on my left or are they on my right?
Yeah. That now I'm looking forward to really watching this. July 23rd through, I have it here on my screen, through what? July 25th. So you really got to get on the ball. You can't, you have to remember, put it in your calendar, July 23rd through July 25th. First date, the virtual Broadway musical.
5 streams.
5 live streams. So there'll be like live performances. You will buy a ticket through stellartickets.com and you will buy a ticket for a performance. So it'll be one of those days. You'll have 5 chances to see the show. They are editing furiously right now, putting us all together in the bar. And it's really cool because unlike, on stage, you have just, your certain physical limitations. But when you're in a green screen, the sky is the limit. So once we were, I think all of us actors and the creative team, we were able to kind of embrace that freedom. We're still kind of used to having everything, in 3D or in person. If we can't make it, it's not going to be real. But in a virtual world, you can make anything happen. And I think that's really going to help this cute, adorable, fun show really just leap off the page.
Yeah. And so is this actually live or are you taping it and then showing it?
The show has already all been pre-filmed, and but we did it all as single takes. So everything is filmed live and then they are editing it all together. So we filmed it like a movie. So we would do, a bit of a scene here and then a bit of a scene there. And then we would film some things on our own and then we would film some things live together. So as Ace was saying earlier, like the cast we'd all be on Zoom. So we would all have our earpieces in and we would be listening to everyone and we would all slate together at the top.
Oh, wow.
Because everybody at their home had to record their audio, their video. So our director would be on Zoom with all of us. So we were in the same time.
Right.
Zoom's lag and you're like fighting that speed of it. So this was literally like, she'd look at us and she'd go, okay, 3, 2, 1. Clap, and everybody would clap so that the audio would line up. And then when they got all the audio from all different people, they could line it all up and go to town.
Yeah. It's going to be really cool.
What an edit guy. You must have a good editor. Oh,
I'm very thankful it's not me.
Oh my God. We're talking weeks and weeks. So are they, is it all like in a Zoom screen or do they actually overlapping you like in OBS or something?
So the visual that the audience will see us in a bar. They will see us in a setting in New York City.
Awesome.
It's really, really cool.
Full-size body shots, close-up shots, you name it.
It's so amazing. Like I said, from Disenchanted, it was very much, it looked like a Zoom kind of
all in your boxes.
We were all in our little boxes just from like the waist up. It was, kind of contained that way. And then watching, when we did Brooklyn, we started getting more full body shots, but again, we were all single actors. So I had little sticky notes all over around the outside of my camera being like, okay, Q is this tall, so I can look up this way and look at Q's sticky. He's up here. And then Felicia's sticky she's this tall, so I can look at her little sticky note.
Oh, wow, cool.
And talk to her.
Yeah.
But thank goodness, because Ace and I could be in the same space. And for the show First Date, it does mostly revolve around our 2 characters staying in this one place at the restaurant. So we were able to really do some cool stuff that I think is going to look really neat and very different. And I hope this kind of hybrid platform finds its home because it makes theater so much more accessible to folks. The ticket prices are way cheaper and anyone around the world can see it. So it's just fun that this has kind of been a little beautiful thing that has blossomed out of all of this crappy year. So many of us have had.
And it may be a new platform to try out new musicals or revive old musicals and also give a lot of actors that aren't getting the jobs going back up yet some work.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Like a lot of people are working in LA now that are all over the country, that you don't have to be in LA anymore to be in a commercial or a TV show, apparently. Great. Yeah. Yeah.
We live in Nashville. So who would have thought, we've gotten to continue to create from our own living room.
Yeah. It's fantastic. SF Shakes here, they did something like that early on, what you guys did, but they did it live, which was a little bit of a mistake because the internet was, kind of slow. So people's noses got cut off and.
Oh no. no.
but they did what you're talking about. They gave everybody all the equipment, and then they overlapped them, in OBS, I guess. And
oh, wow.
they look like they're in the same room. They even had like sword fights, and except the nose.
That's so cool. Yeah, that's the hard part with the internet. You just can't trust what it's going to be from day to day. So even for us, while we were recording, there were days that it was crystal clear, and then some days we would all get on and we're like, oh, somebody's not working, and they're like,
or they'd hit this moment where everybody's moving and we're all reading, and all of a sudden they'd be like, yeah, totally that. And it's like stuck, and you're going, I know you have the word.
Yeah, and we're all thinking like, are they kidding? Oh no, they're actually frozen.
No, they're frozen.
Oh, okay.
All right, we'll do this again when their internet comes back.
That's so cool. I did an online reading like that, and was actually in the script where everyone froze like that. It was a comedy thing, and except for one person. Yeah, it was a blast.
Oh, that's all too real.
That's fun. I think we should start doing this to our friends when we actually sit down at a real table and eat together.
Just freeze.
Everybody has to hit them.
Oh, yeah. I had a Zoom moment.
And that digital world just came with us today.
In memory of Zoom, let's all have a freeze.
Remember that time we were all locked in our house for a year and a half?
Now, is this first date, was it ever on Broadway?
It was. It ran in 2018.
That's what I thought. I looked it up.
Yeah, it ran for
almost a year.
Almost a year, and it was with Zachary Levi and Krista Rodriguez. It's a really adorable show. It's on YouTube if anybody wants to see it. Hey, but
I don't think we can say that title. It's on Me Too.
Oh yeah, well, they'll demonetize me, and I won't make my 20 cents.
No, right?
Me Too. You look it up.
I just want to say I'm so happy that you guys did this, because I mean, like, from my point of view, I don't want to take this. I just want to let you know. I mean, Diana, like I was a huge American Idol fan, and then like 2 years later, like I'm in the show with you, like being mean as hell to Maria, like 3 times a night, which I felt weird about. And then Ace, you were fantastic, and then you guys got married, and I'm like, I was like, oh my god, what the perfect couple. I mean, and then I've been watching your Instagram. You guys are hilarious. It looks like you have. It looks like you have so much fun.
Thank you.
I mean, every time I watch your stuff, I'm just like, oh my god.
It's a pretty crazy life that we have, but we like it.
We try to find the fun in everything, because our humor is genuine.
Yeah.
The world is ironic. So we try to find the fun in everything.
That's for sure. How are your little dogs? How many dogs do you have? You have a lot.
So we for a long time had one dog. Her name was Rosie.
Yeah.
She lived to be almost 17 years old. She passed in 2019. And she was our firstborn, our only child. We have her immortalized everywhere around our house.
We have a rose. Where she's buried is our
rose garden.
We have a rose garden we buried for.
Oh, okay.
We get to look at her every day.
And so I started supporting a local charity here called the Tennessee Dachshund Rescue, but mostly, with donations and other kind of more virtual ways to help out, because we were always on the road. Well, fast forward to a shutdown. And we were sent home from the show we were on. We were almost opening a show in Chicago. And we came home, and, like many of us, we were definitely in the blues of where do we go, what's happening. And TDR, Tennessee Dachshund Rescue, needed some help. So we decided to start fostering over this last year. And we are now on our 15th and 16th puppies. These are not puppies. We actually have an elderly little senior couple. They're just the cutest.
You have 16 dogs?
Not now.
Oh, okay.
So since quarantine started, we've had 16 dogs live at our house and find their forever home.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
16th now. We also had a puppy mill rescue where we helped transport over 120 in a night. And then that was a puppy thing at our house for 6 months because they were property of the state. So we had brand new puppies with all the things, and we had to get them all healthy.
Oh yeah, that was an exciting time. It was about a year ago now that we picked up those little runs. We thought we were just going to help get them from point A to point B. Turns out they needed a foster, and somehow they came to our house
and we
for
slept,
6 months.
Slept 2 hours at a time. But they were adorable. Now we get to follow them and see what they're up to, and they're huge. So it's nice to see.
Yeah, I saw you walking your first 2 there on the Instagram. That was kind of fun.
Oh, they are a hoot. They are constant entertainment. And it's just, it's completely, it's just pure love. I think they've helped us just as much as we hope that we've helped them over the last year. And it's good to see them go to their forever homes and find the perfect families. And then we get more in. So it keeps
what a great thing. What a great thing. I mean, awesome. I'm a total dog lover myself. Once I babysat an actor friend of mine's dachshund. She had to travel somewhere. What smart dogs. Oh my God. It was
sometimes a little too smart.
Yes. Well, I had to take care of her dachshund and her golden retriever. I'll tell you right now, there's no comparison in terms of brain power. I mean, I'm not trying to diss golden retrievers, but
the dachshund ran the roost, right?
Oh yeah. The little dog. It was a miniature too, and the golden was, but the dachshund ran the show, man.
That sounds accurate.
Yeah, that's it. Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
And like the door was a little. The dachshund knew how to open the door and stuff, and the golden retriever's like, I don't know what to do here.
Oh yeah, we have no privacy in this house. No matter where you go, they just want to see where you are. So if like you're, about to get into the shower or something like that, you'll just hear a little nose nudge. And because we have an old house where nothing is square anymore, so they're just like, doop, doop, excuse me. Oh, you're good. Okay. All right. We're just checking. All right. We'll be back in 30 minutes. Okay. Bye.
We made our whole porch dachshund friendly. So we have a screen door with a doggy door, and the whole porch is locked in now, so they can go out all the time, 24/7, and look outside, bark at things, and come back in.
Cool.
Doggy hotel.
They don't feel trapped in the house ever.
Now, can dachshunds squeeze down like cockroaches and go under gates and things?
They try. Thankfully, they're a little chunkier typically, so they're not quite as wiggly.
The puppies.
Oh, now they could get out of Alcatraz.
I mean, they could slide under any type of fence that you did. It was insane how they snuck.
We would wake up and you just look over, and there was one in particular, Chip, this little black and tan puppy. I mean, he was the runt of the litter and just the epitome of that personality. He could always squeeze out, and you'd wake up and just roll over in the morning. You'd look down, he's just like, hi.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We didn't know how he got out at first, because when they were puppies, they were like mice size. And Chip, this little dude, would climb like Wolverine using his claws. He would climb anything that we put fabric-wise inside their area,
blanket. Yeah.
He would climb it, and then he would just jump off the table. And the table's like 5 times his height, and he'd just go, woo! And he'd land
and keep going.
Somehow be in our room. Like,
wow.
Chip. It was insane. He's a little daredevil.
And his dogs are amazing. Oh, we had to just bring our dog in today to have. She's 13. She's a little miniature Labradoodle, but she has to have one of her eyes taken out.
Oh no! I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Well, luckily, dogs are so adaptive and they're just so courageous. So she'll be totally fine. Or she or he? What's her name?
She. Foxy. Yeah. We were going to dress her up like a pirate, get a patch and a pirate's costume and, teach her how to say
there you go.
Instead of arf.
yeah. Stop the bark. Just arf.
Yeah, just arf. Yeah, something new to learn. So who else is in your cast here? It looks like you have quite a stellar cast besides you two, who are the you two are the stars of the show, right? And then you have some other people.
Thank you. Yes, everyone else in the bar becomes all the people in our minds, which are the different peoples of our lives. So Ace's character Aaron has like his best friend Gabe,
college buddy,
who's kind of like that bro that most guys have, that's like, we're gonna get this girl, it's gonna be great, we're gonna get you through this. And then his dead grandma comes back, and oh golly, I have like a best friend played by Nick CEARLEY. He's hilarious, who's always trying to call and help bail me out. He's like my get out of jail free card, but I don't answer the phone, so we end up hearing his voicemails. They just kind of slowly progress until he's in pure panic mode because I'm not answering. And then
Aurelia is my ex-girlfriend who I did a show in Pittsburgh with.
Yeah.
She was amazing.
Yeah, Aurelia plays actually your ex-fiance of the show.
Ex-fiance.
And
real ex-fiance in real life?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
We want it to be relatable, so we went for real people.
No method acting here. We're going for the real deal. But yeah, and Jen Sánchez plays my sister, and Vishal, our friend Vishal, plays the waiter, and
like 3 other characters.
Yeah, but they play about 4 to 5 other characters as well as those characters. So we're lucky. We only have to be one person the whole show. Everyone else gets all these different, fantastic, colorful characters, and it's really fun. But it's a heartfelt show. It's kind of got more of an old school vibe, even though it is still a very modern, contemporary piece. The music is definitely, pop contemporary musical theater. It's super catchy. A few of the songs have gone on to kind of have their own life. My character's kind of big number called Safer has definitely found its life beyond the show in like the cabaret and kind of concert
and musical
world.
Theater auditioning
Yes,
songs.
lots of ladies like to sing it. I have discovered, and it's a really good feel good show, and it makes you think. It brings up lots of fun topics, and I think it has lots of moments that people can relate to, where you're like, oh golly, I've watched that date happen, or I've been on the other side of that table when that date happened, and we go over all those topics that everybody has to kind of figure out when they're meeting someone new, like whether it's religion or kids or baggage or whatever the stuff is that we're carrying into this new relationship. We get to actually navigate it with Casey and Aaron in real time on their first date and see where does it go from there.
Yeah, so the show starts literally in real time. So you're with us from the beginning of the date to the end of the date, and you get to go through all the things that we get to go through. You get to see that you can't judge a book by its cover. But you can, but you can't.
Well, yes.
You can, but maybe you shouldn't.
But it was so much fun. It was a blast to do, and we're actually hoping that it gets picked up to where we can do it a couple times on our real feet, on a real stage.
Yeah, with real humans.
That would be great.
Standing next to one another.
Yeah, so fingers crossed.
It must have been so wonderful to be in the same space like that, where you can actually do some real acting with each other.
It was. And for Ace and I, most of the time, most of the shows we've done are more music heavy or music centric shows. Whether it's Joseph, which, I think 5 words are spoken in the whole show.
With an opera,
or other things that we've done. So this one, it was really great to have something that was more book heavy for us. It was great to dive into these characters and to really have a chance to kind of challenge ourselves in that way. And because our characters,
the scenes, find the spots where you could actually do something personal that you think the character should do.
Yeah, everyone else actually sings a lot more in the show than we do, but we have our moments, so don't worry.
Did you have a director who was like helping you as you were working the scenes? Cool.
Yes, her name is Meg Foffenoff. Yeah. She is amazing. She, with Art Lab and Showtown, they just put together a fantastic, really, great, diverse, knowledgeable group of cast and crew. Like everyone got like what we were doing, that we're just we're keeping art alive in this new platform. We're creating something new. We all don't have all the answers, but we're going to figure it out if we work together. And each day served its own challenges, whether it was the phone, the life it died, it's now full. It's full, the storage is full. That was the word I was looking for.
So since we were recording on our cell phones,
phone storage.
You couldn't do more than 1 day of shooting
on
a phone because it didn't have enough storage space.
Because we're filming in 4K, so those are huge files.
So we found out on day 2, because we had already done all day 1, and they were like, just hold on to the videos till we make sure we have all your downloads. So then we start filming on day 2, and all the phones just went.
Oh, right.
Pure panic.
Like, everything's not broken. Give us a second. And we figured it out. Yeah, they were full. So we had to literally dump every day all the footage that we got, which is terrifying.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if they have it, but at the same point, they gave us the clear. Like in the morning, the first thing they said was, got every take. Yeah. You can dump everything off the phone.
After every day, Meg and our editor would go through everyone's footage to make sure they got what they needed. In case we had to do any reshoots or if something happened, because that would be like maybe the sound had a blurb, or so if the sound and the video was not the same, if there was a mess up on either side, you'd have to redo that take. And luckily, we only had a couple little small things that happened, and they happened early on, so we were able to take care of it. And Sound Associates sent out everyone these big giant packages of sound equipment, which I wish we could have kept, but I get why they wanted it back. Fine.
Are they giving some good stuff, huh?
Just made us sound so good.
It was so cool, And
sound is so hard. Oh my God, I've learned so much over
It is.
And, and every day we would get on and the whole team would be there. So you could go from film team to sound team to scene work with the director. And they would, you would check in with all your teams. And if you were filming off by yourself, that stuff that didn't involve anyone else, you could just sign off Zoom, go record, upload, and then go on with your day. But the uploading, that was the part that no one really thinks about.
You're uploading 4K videos that are high resolution.
Apple didn't think about okay, you can shoot in 4K, but they never thought about how to get it off the phone.
Yeah.
Right?
How do you it takes a while even just to airdrop it to your hours when you're holding them next to each other.
Yeah.
So we would film and then, it would take us a good
another hour and a half,
2, almost 3 hours.
Yeah. You have to hope that it actually works.
Yeah. So it took a village again. Our every team was on there making sure that the P's and Q's were crossed and I's were dotted, T's were crossed.
And they had learned from previous productions because they have had people where they would get in and if they didn't do a sound check to make sure that their audio was right, they forget to turn their mic back on.
And do a whole day of recording with no sound.
And then send all the videos in. They're like, it sounds really good on the phone, but where are the audio files? Never turn it over again. It's on your back. You don't see it. Yeah, exactly. So every day when we started, they checked everything. And then they're like, okay, you're free. Go.
Just like in a regular stage production. Right?
Yeah. We had a half-hour call, and then we gave ourselves a half hour before that to prep food, get ourselves ready,
switch all the batteries out.
Batteries.
We used lots of batteries. I'm sorry, Mother Earth. We used so many batteries.
We could have made a battery powered car with those.
Yeah,
a lot of AA's.
Yeah. Gosh, just incredible. Maybe some of these things will be incorporated into live shows when we return. Years ago I saw a Noel Coward play where they did a lot of this early on, and I was blown away. They had a screen, and people would walk through the screen, and all of a sudden they'd be in the screen, and they would be interacting with people on the stage who they were just on stage with. It was some Canadian theater company. It was like 10 years ago.
Wow,
maybe
that is really
more
cool.
Of that now. It's so cool. Like when you have a giant screen and high resolution.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can have an army.
I think we're going to start to see a lot of things come out of this past year that are going to be positive in that way, and I do hope that that we can remember that we survived it, we got through it, and we can use it as a leaping point from us to create something new and exciting for the next generation.
Yeah, and hopefully not for the next virus.
No more
viruses.
I've had enough of the viruses.
We're good.
Had enough of the viruses. So
I've even thought of this traveling on the Lord now. I used to wear like a scarf when I got on an airplane and put it over my head and pass out. And now I might just wear a mask.
Oh no, I'm wearing a bodysuit, going full blown bio. No.
I don't even want to catch a cold from somebody.
But then you don't have to worry about like raving fans noticing you and like in your
I don't mind the anonymity with face masks. I have to be honest about that.
Yeah, that must be something. Yeah. So did you two actually meet on Hair? I read that. Is that right?
We did.
Not American Idol, Hair.
Correct. I am very thankful we did not meet when I was doing American Idol because that was a very different time of my life and that would have been really awkward.
You were a baby.
Yeah. So luckily we met in 2010.
Oh, that's right.
Broadway revival of Hair. Ace was cast as Berger. I was cast as Sheila. And our director, Miss Diane Paulus, she told us the first day that we had to become best friends. She was like, I need you all to spend every meal, every break, I need y'all to know each other really, really well because you have to lead this cast. And we were replacing the Broadway company that had been together for about 3 years, the original Broadway company. And, they had won the Tony. They had like this most incredible chemistry. Yes. And they had left some pretty big bell bottoms to fill. And we only had like 2.5 weeks to replace. We have 28 people out of a cast of 32. Mm-hmm. And so I took the note like any good actor, said, okay. And we started hanging out and we didn't realize it, but we were kind of dating then because we were just getting to know one another and we started to really enjoy each other's company. And he was such a gentleman. We were living in I was living in kind of a sketchy part of town and he actually lived across the street. So he would make sure I could get to my corner safely, and then would like watch me down the block and be like, okay, you got home. And
Was this in New York?
this was in New York. Yeah. Yeah. I lived right by the water. You know, now Times Square bleeds right over into the, by the water,
Hudson,
but into the Hudson. But 10 years ago, not so much.
It was a little sketchy once you got to 10th and 11th.
If you were on 42nd Street, you were in the boonies of sorts.
Yeah. Yeah.
But and then life just kind of kept bringing us back together. I went on the road after the show, and you went back to LA, and
and we saw each other almost every 3 weeks. Every 3 to 4 weeks, something would bring us into the same city. We just hung out. And then right when she finished her 9 to 5 tour, we were sitting in quiet, and we asked ourselves and then each other, what are we?
What's happening here? What is this?
And that was our decision moment, and we haven't looked back since. It's been the most fun chapter I've had in my life. It's been awesome.
Cool. Love it. I love it.
And we just celebrated 8 years.
8 years married.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So fast.
Yeah.
It goes so fast.
Yeah. I know. Gosh. So, Hair and Jesus Christ Superstar I was just obsessed with when I was a little kid. They were new shows, that's how old I am. And, well, I think when we first met, Diane, I was like in my early 40s, and now I'm almost 60 years old.
Well, I won't say how old I was then and what I just turned. So
yeah, no, don't. It doesn't matter if I say. No, you got to keep that a secret. Yeah. So, I mean, Hair is such a wonderful show for bonding, though. Anyway, right? I mean, you have to. The cast, like your director said, I mean, you have to become best friends. I mean, otherwise, it's just not. It just won't work if you're not all.
Such a genuine place to come from that you have to art as a person created this life in the real world. So it's a really, really important way to start with love and work in understanding after that, and then get to the hug with strangers.
We became a tribe, and you really had to drop any insecurities and trust in the people around you, which we do normally in theater anyways, because it is a team sport. But in Hair, there's so much.
We have a dog.
We have a dog on set. There's a dog on set. But with Hair, there's a lot of very vulnerable moments, and you have to feel safe to be do whatever it is you need to do for that moment. And our cast, we still call ourselves a tribe. We're the Starshine tribe, and many of us are still very close. Even if we haven't seen each other in a long time, if we spot one another, maybe not now so much with the pandemic, but you would see each other on the other side of the street. You'd run across, hug. I love you. I got to go to an audition. Bye. But it was a special time and a lovely show to be a part of. We were taught to practice what we preached, which was, I appreciated. The message was more than just about being in a show. The message was bigger than us, especially in that time of what the world was. And, in 2008 to 2010, Hair was really, it had a platform that a lot of shows just weren't quite taking advantage of in that way. And Hair really paved the way about practicing what they preached and being more than just an form of entertainment, but a platform that can make and bring some positive change to the world. And it was such a wonderful experience. And I met my husband and so many of my dearest friends through that show.
Wonderful. Yeah. I mean, that script was written during, the height of Vietnam, and there was a lot of dissension in our country, like there has been for the last 10 or 15 years again, unfortunately.
And one thing that's still true today is that you matter. Everybody matters. So if you feel a certain way about life and you feel like you're supposed to do something, you're not supposed to let other people tell you different. You're supposed to really understand yourself, love yourself. That's the hardest thing I think I've run into with most people, is that they have a really hard time loving themselves.
Yes.
To understand that they matter enough to actually follow their dream. And they just kind of fall in line of what the world throws at them. And that's not normally ending with what you want to do.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
You got to make sure you're still giving your heart what it wants. And that was a beautiful thing for me that I took from Hair as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. I remember I went and saw it here locally a number of years ago, and they did the nude scene, and I knew like half the people in the cast, and I was sitting in the front row, and I'm like, oh man, I'm not sure if I wanted to see that, but
yeah, this was the one show my brother politely was like, I love you, but I don't think I'm going to come to this one. I understood. We both got razzed pretty good by some friends and family that did come to see the show about Tushy's running off stage and whatnot. But it was a moment that I am glad I did not pass up on during the show, because of course it was optional. No one was being forced to do anything.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I strongly believed that Sheila and Berger, our characters, we would be there. Like,
right.
No brainer. Like, we would be there in the middle of it. And luckily, Diane and the rest of the team was very understanding with kind of our other position of Ace and Diana. You know what I mean? We didn't want it to be about, oh, come see some American Idols get naked, because that's not what the show, or especially what that moment of the show is about whatsoever. And we didn't want to take away from it. So we got creative with the direction, and it was such a beautiful moment.
Yeah.
Very liberating. I tell you that. Whew.
I bet. Yeah.
And
seriously. Yeah. I mean,
lived up to it. It was great.
yeah, no, I mean, I think that if you can do that and it means something to you, it could be one of the highlights of your acting career, you know, in a sense,
sure.
Because you're totally open. You're totally open.
Yeah.
There's nothing to hide.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. What was I going to say? Oh God, I just had like one of those brain fart things. Oh, you guys were in Greece together, huh?
We did it here in Nashville, actually. I call it lovingly Senior Greece, because all of us were way too old, like the movie. But luckily, the Belmont students were our actual children of the show.
It was fun. It was fun to do my last go as a T-bird with Diana.
Oh, okay.
Blast. So I definitely enjoyed that. The only things I could come back for now would be Teen Angel, or I guess it could be Teen Angel or the DJ, the disc jockey.
Oh yeah. It was really fun. We did that production with Studio 10 here in Nashville, and it was just a great group of friends, and we've really been lucky. The Nashville theater community has welcomed us with open arms here. You know, we moved in I moved back in 2013, and I brought a husband with me, and I was like, hey, theater folks, meet us. And you know, you never know. You don't want to encroach, especially in our regional theaters. Those communities were very tight knit, and you know what I mean? These are people that have built things from literally the ground up, and you don't want to come swooping in like some out of towner trying to, you know, showboat or anything like that. And we were really lucky that Studio 10 and their family welcomed us with open arms, and we've made some of the best lifelong friends here. People that we now lovingly see all over the country and all over other stages, and it was really cool to create that show. Kind of have a last hurrah for both of us with Grease, and then finally let it be put to bed forever.
Well, that's wonderful that you can be part of the community as well. You know.
Yeah, it is. It's nice to be able to do that, and it's different now that we're adults. When you're a kid, you're in the community.
Yeah.
You don't really understand. You don't understand how important it is. I remember going up and down the Boulder Creek when we'd have festivals when I was growing up, and being able to see what people in my town were doing and making, and it blew my mind. And to be able to have that now as an adult in Nashville is pretty awesome.
Are you from here? You're from Boulder?
I'm originally from Colorado, from Boulder, yeah.
Oh, Boulder. Okay, Boulder, Colorado. I thought you said Boulder Creek, California.
I 12 years in California. I love California.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I saw, who did I see? I saw another American Idol he played Teen Angel. What's his name? The guy with the grayish hair?
Taylor Hicks.
Yeah. I saw that.
Taylor won my year of American Idol season 5.
Oh.
And he actually did Grease before I did Grease.
Yes, I saw that.
Broadway. And he was the one that called me, and he goes, man, you got to come do this show. This is so much fun. And he goes, and all the girls, they want to look at a straight guy.
They're single and ready to mingle.
Like, they'll go out and they'll hang out with you. And they're so nice. He was blown away. And then I go and do Grease as Kaniki. And what do you know? The next show I do on Broadway, I meet my wife. It was amazing.
Amazing. Gosh.
So I still owe Taylor Hicks the thank you for that phone call.
So what's your doggy's name there?
This is Oliver, one of our fosters. He is 11 years old, and he and his girlfriend came, Lily is her name. They came to us when they were surrendered. Their owner passed away, and unfortunately, the surviving family members could not care for them. And so Miss Lily got a little sick. She had some heartworm treatment done, but she's now fully recovered and healthy. And he is clearly such, a ferocious dog.
Very, he's ferocious. Look at
that. He's such a good guy.
He was, I guess, because when we first brought Lily into the program, because she was so sick, he was very protective of her. So he got labeled as aggressive, and you can tell that label has fallen off.
Yeah, I see that. Dogs can change when their environment changes a lot.
Yes,
most definitely.
They are. They're a reflection of what's around them. So if you ever meet a bad dog, you've just met a bad owner.
Exactly.
That's what I think.
Hey, Ace, did you used to play baseball?
I did.
I could tell.
A lot of baseball, a lot of football.
I was watching you throw the oranges. I'm like, he actually was a pitcher.
I was a backup catcher. I was center fielder for the most time because I was really fast.
Well, I could tell that you
down, but I pitched.
Yeah, and you threw the ball. Yeah, you threw the ball like somebody had thrown a lot of balls. I was like, hey, this guy actually played.
Athletic. He can do anything. Whether it's surfing, wakeboarding, golf, football, basketball, baseball. Like you hand him a sport and he's like, oh, I've not tried this before. Oh, let me just be incredible at it. Like he's not named Ace for no reason. Like it blows my mind. I'm always like, no, I'm going to get hurt. I'll stay right here. Thanks. Appreciate it. Go team. Woohoo!
That's what I get for being the youngest of 5 boys. Is I was always trying to catch them. So
actually, you're older.
All the different sports. I was just trying to do everything they did.
Yeah.
Before I knew it, I was playing everything, and I thought everybody did that. And I realized I was very wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. So you have
come on, we're going wakeboarding. We're going to go do the helicopter skiing. You want to come? And Diana's like, I don't ski.
Did you go helicopter skiing? Have you gone helicopter skiing?
I've done backcountry skiing my whole life. I grew up racing when I was 4 till 12.
Wow.
I was part of Lake Eldora racing team.
And
it was so much fun.
I've skied once.
You know what? I skied since I was a little kid. And then back at the beginning of April, I went skiing after 5 years after I had meniscus surgery. And I was doing great. Yeah, I was doing great because I'd been working on my strength. And then the last run of the day, I was kind of tired and I turned and I don't have as much mobility in my knees. And I snapped my ACL in the left knee.
Oh, Ray, no.
Yeah. I'm supposed to get it operated on, but I've been getting physical therapy and it's doing great. So I don't know if I'm going to get it.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, if the body wants to fix itself.
Yeah, well, it can't. The ACL can't heal, but as long as you don't I'm not going to play playing tennis or anything sideways anymore. It can be okay, I think.
Dang.
Yeah,
it's crazy, man. I'm sorry. It's scary. The knees are something you never know when you have to let up because they don't really give you a feel like a muscle does.
Right.
So you just have it, and then it pops. I did that to my Achilles. I ripped my Achilles when I was younger, and it was just normal day going about the running. And then all of a sudden our guy who was doing triple jump in our track and field team wasn't there to do it. And they're like, Ace, we need some numbers, just qualify something. So I ran and did a triple jump. And on that third one in my brain, I heard the rubber band go.
Yes, that's what I mean. Bam.
And then my foot wouldn't move after that. I was like, oh no. Yeah. So it happens, man. It's crazy. Tendons are crazy.
No, thank you.
We could talk about that for a while.
I had the same thing. It was like skiing. I was actually listening to something in my headphones, and I heard this pop, and then I'm like, I had pain, and then like, okay, it'll go away. I'll be fine. I'll ski down. And I try to ski down. Like if your tendons aren't there, your joints are float around like they're like on ice.
Yeah.
It's like
literally. Because now you're just dependent on the bones, how they rest on each other because there's nothing to hold it or torque it. So it's like a sail. It's like a sail that lost its top rope. It's kind of just drooping now, but there's still wind.
Yeah, right.
You're like,
exactly.
I might be able to get us home.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, you've done so many shows and you did not injure yourself in a show. You injured yourself just having a little ski jaunt.
Well, it might have been, martial arts and all the dancing and stuff adding up over the years.
What martial art did you do?
Muay Thai.
Nice. I did
And karate for like, what's that?
I did Kempo for 7 years.
Oh, cool.
So much fun.
Oh, I miss it.
I miss
so addicted. Me too.
Yeah, like actually doing the grappling to a tap out was so much fun. It was exhausting. It was the hardest workout I ever had.
Oh my God.
Somebody else's body when they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Ooh, you'd be so tired.
Oh my God. Yeah.
You felt like you got the best workout of your life.
I had to quit because I ended up getting a couple of concussions. So I was like, okay, I'm getting too old for this. I got to stop.
That was me quitting football.
Where'd you play football? In high school?
In high school, yeah. I was looking to play in college, and I just didn't want to sacrifice my body any further. I had already broken every finger and ripped the collarbones and done everything to my body and popped a couple ribs there too. Yeah, so I was just over it.
Well, that's good. You didn't
be in rehab anymore.
Because now we got you with the music.
Yeah, we brought him over to our side, and then we get crazy injuries there too. Oh golly!
Oh, but it's so much fun.
Yeah,
on stage. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Diana was actually the first person I ever met that got turf toe during a show on stage. She got something that took out football players for 3 months at a time, and she didn't even know what it was. We're going to get checked, and she's having somebody look at it, and she's like, it feels like an ice pick right in the joint of my big toe. And they maneuver, and she jumped out and wanted to punch him in the face. And they go, you have turf toe, and she hadn't heard it ever before.
My mouth fell open.
I instantly went, oh, and she goes, is that bad?
I thought it was like a fungus thing at first because turf toe, like what is turf toe?
Fungus.
I know. I was like, I'm clean. I swear. I washed my feet. I promise.
And then I told her, I said, Deion Sanders got turf toe when he was doing the shuffle after he scored a touchdown. He dislocated his big toe and got turf toe.
Yeah.
Took him out for 3 months.
Wow.
It's not something to play with.
That happened to me about 2 months into our Joseph tour, which was 15 months long. And my high heel got caught in the opposite pant leg while I was walking down some stairs. And I'm singing,
some stairs. It was a 12-stair staircase.
Looked like a pyramid.
Anything on wheels.
In the middle of the stage, singing Pharaoh's story at the top of my lungs. And, I'm not looking down and looking up, and I feel it get caught, and I tried to adjust it. And then next thing I knew, I could feel my momentum going down, and I tried to just catch myself. So I ended up just kind of punching my foot into the floor. And I thought, oh, that didn't feel so good. And next thing you know, I was like, oh, I really can't walk on that. And it never was broken, but just that little tendon there, those little floating bones underneath the ball of your toe.
Yeah.
They just got hit just right. And the only thing to let it heal is to just rest, which we weren't going to do because we had just started a tour.
We only had 328 shows to do.
Yeah, but I never missed one. I made it through every performance of that entire tour. Both Ace and I did.
I did as well. And the funny thing is, her shoes, they grip the ground. Mine were sneakers, so I thought I'd have amazing grip.
Yeah.
But when you're on the floors that we put down,
the Marley,
it was really slippery with sneakers.
So
I'm running off the side with Joseph's coat on, and it's trailing behind me. And I look in front of me, and I see one foot. I was like, that's my shoe. And then I see the other foot, and I was like, I'm in the air. I literally was trying to stop. I just saw my feet in front of me, and I looked down, and there I go down to the ground. Our fog machine had been leaking just a little bit of moisture under the bottom, and it came out to where I ran out the side of the stage. So while she's getting too much grip, I'm slipping, landing on my back, and they're looking at me like, are you okay? And I stood up, checked myself. Yep. Ran to my next spot.
Isn't that not the injury part, but that's what I love about live theater is all the crazy things that go on that you try to hide from the audience.
Oh yeah, because it's happening in real time, and and we're human. Things happen.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the stories we could tell. Holy cow.
One time I walked on stage without my pants on in 1776. I was playing John Hancock, and we had all these coats and stuff, and like I had these socks that came up, and I walk out there all regal, and I like, oh crap, I forgot to put on my pants.
That means you got to use John's hand to cover your.
Yeah. Well, I had like these goofy tights on. It just looked ridiculous. So, but fortunately, John Hancock sat behind a desk because he's like the president of the Senate, so like, oh God, at least I don't have to spend the whole play like this.
It just got you set up for all your Zoom meetings you were going to do the last 6 months. You didn't have to wear pants for those either.
I'm not wearing pants right now. No, I'm kidding. Diana, that reminds me, I got to tell you this. So back when we were in West Side Story, back almost in the last century, I don't know what year was that. Anyway, every night, like they gave you that dress that was too long for you. And every night when you're crying over, what's his name, dying, your dress would get caught in the heel of your, and I'm standing right behind you, right? And I'm like, and every night I'm going through this thing like, oh my God, I should help her. No, Shane couldn't do that. What do I do?
But that is the joy of being a woman in shows. Can I tell you that it just set me up for expectation for the rest of my career? I can't tell you how many shows I was doing Jekyll and Hyde in Korea, and they love their very extravagant costumes and sets and everything over there. And so my costume was huge for Bring On the Men. And I had this giant bustle and all this stuff, and I'm in the world's largest boots you've ever seen. And they had like a 4-inch lift on the front and like a 6-inch heel that I wore the whole show. I got my heel caught in that bustle and my life flashed before my eyes. I saw the pit, which has a full orchestra in it. So, I mean, all the players are out. I missed falling into the pit by mere inches.
Oh, jeez.
Inches because of that exact thing with a heel and a skirt and I enjoy being a girl.
Now, here's the question. If you had to fall into an orchestra pit, what instrument would you prefer to land on?
Ooh.
I would
instantly drum, pedal drum.
I would say drums, but all their stands are so pointy.
Keyboard.
Oh, that's true.
Piano or keyboard.
At least it's flat. And you make a nice noise. You're like,
you take out that poor violinist, they're never going to be the same.
And their violin probably costs $30,000.
Oh, yeah, no. Stay away from the strings.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, you could be in big debt. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
During Joseph, we had one of our friends that had to do I call it the cheerleader stand, where he's standing, but 2 guys are under him with his feet right at their shoulder length, and he's up high standing.
Yeah.
I kept peeking my head out just to see if he'd go into the pit one day, because he would always stand, and I'd see him do
and
a
you'd
wobble.
see him kind of wobble, and we're like,
don't do it. Don't do it.
God.
He gave me anxiety, and I wasn't even having to do it. But he did it every single time. It was amazing.
Yep.
So I'm always curious, if you fell into a pit, what would you like to land on? And then you see those pits.
Ball up and just pray.
You see all those pits now a lot of them have net covers.
Yeah.
I think that would be more awkward, because then the people in the seats can still see you.
Just like a fly.
Should I continue?
Struggling.
You're struggling, trying to get out. Get back on stage.
Should I keep
I'm coming! I'm coming!
Yeah, you have to keep singing. Yeah, you have to keep singing as you're like struggling like a bug.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing. But that'd be the show. Everybody, I mean, if you had a show that was all about follies, you had that happen every time.
Yeah.
Everybody would say, I was at the show when.
Right.
I had a show once where I had an accident. I was 9 to 5 and I ran on stage. We were on tour in Dayton, Ohio. I'll never forget it. And the scene before is a kind of a dream sequence. And again, a little bit of water got on stage, but nobody could see it because, things happen. And I come sprinting on stage in my giant, Dolly Parton-esque heels. And I just feel my same thing like Ace. I see my feet fly up and I go, oh, and I just went straight down. Well, I disappeared behind a couch. So all the audience saw was this little blonde thing run out and go whoop and disappear behind a couch. So they thought it was hilarious. I popped up, readjusted my prosthetics and my wig, looked at my other scene partners and went, what? Keep going. And so we continued on with the scene. It worked for the energy of the scene. But my friend's mom was at the show and she came back after the show and was like, oh, I loved the new fall you put in. It was so funny. Oh my gosh, the audience thought it was amazing. And I went, well, I hope you enjoyed it, because that was the first and last time anyone will ever see it. I was black and blue from my heel to my head, all down my left side. I hit full body. It
Oh my
hurt
God.
so
They
bad.
thought that she had a landing mat behind the couch.
Oh, right. Yeah. There
She
was
hit behind the couch so perfect. It was like she just
some great physical comedy there. Yeah.
I like physical comedy, but not that physical.
And unplanned. Yeah.
Yes. A little more rehearsed and safety cautious, please.
Well, I know you have to go work. Are you teaching these days or what are you doing?
I am. I'm doing all sorts of things. I think this has been the year of try it all, do it all. So
if it's an option and you have the time, this has been the time to pick it up. And we've been
Yeah.
doing a lot of stuff. I've done a lot of personal custom construction things. I built a lot of homes before I moved from Colorado with my brother who did custom homes. And Diana actually became a professional mixologist. And she's
virtually
been virtually teaching huge classes, anywhere from it could be 8 people to 1,000 people, how to make
cocktails.
drinks.
Is that what you're going to go do now?
Yeah.
That is what I'm going to go do.
Oh my God, how incredible.
So when it started, I was so excited because I love a good hang and a good drink. And she would start it and she would make all these drinks. I tried to keep up. I was like, yeah. She goes, should I make a real drink? I was like, yeah, make a real drink. It's no big deal. I passed out at 4 p.m. The third day I tried to keep up with the drink she was making.
Do it.
I was done. I don't take naps. And this thing, literally, I was like, I thought I was awake. And she goes, you okay? And I woke up. I was like, yeah, no, I can't keep up.
I don't need another margarita.
Make fake drinks from here on out.
Yeah, or they go into the sink, but it is what it is.
Can't keep up with the true mixologist. Wow.
It's been amazing.
Yeah.
We've learned a lot of different flavors for sure.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's a great way to be creative. I'm still entertaining and meeting folks all around the world that I couldn't have met otherwise. You know, I taught a class the other day with people in India and to Poland to San Francisco. And it was just so funny that we were all across the world hanging out on a platform like this, you know, having a good time together.
How do you sign up for your class?
Well, the company is called Fancy Sips. So go to fancysips.com. You can book a private class, or about once a quarter, we have a free webinar. So it's first come, first serve. So you can just come and hang out. We'll do 3 drinks and you can kind of get a taste of what a private class would be like. But it's just an approachable way to bartending and to mixology so that people don't feel like they have to have worked at a fancy bar or anything like that to know that it's not hard to make a really great cocktail, especially for yourself.
And you don't have to know all of them. Just learn how to make one that you like.
Yeah. Or more.
Love it.
If you keep coming back.
I love this. You guys are amazing.
Thanks.
It's so much fun. I knew this was going to be a blast. So First Date, the Virtual Broadway Musical, opens on Friday, July 23rd, 5 p.m. Pacific time. Figure that out. Okay. And then it runs through July 25th.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in France, so I'm going to have to make sure that I watch one of these that I can fit in. Cool.
Do it. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
We're excited to see what it turns out to be.
Yes, we're excited for you to go to France. That sounds so fun.
Yeah, I know. I can't wait. Well, my wife is French, and my son is going to work there for a month, so we're just going to head up there with them. Yeah.
How fun.
Yeah. Well, if you're ever in San Francisco, give me a ring, and maybe we'll wear masks and go have some coffee somewhere if you want.
That sounds
or mixology.
Can we start with a clam chowder? We'll go to
Yes.
and get some clam chowder.
Sourdough.
And sourdough.
Best I've ever had.
Oh, we went there for our honeymoon. So.
Oh,
yeah.
Right on.
Oh, well, we will definitely call you next time we are up in Northern California. We would love to see you.
Yeah, great. It'd be great. I know you got to get going. Thanks so much. Have a great weekend. And
thank you for having us, Ray.
Yes.
We look forward to doing it again.
Yeah, let's do it again. I mean, if you want to do it like regularly every so many months or whatever, once every 2 or 3 months.
Let us know.
We'll hit you when we got the next show.
Next show. Let's do it again.
There's my arm.
Time to go to work. Okay. Bye.